Hey guys, welcome to Homestead Prepping and Survival. So I've been planning on adding on to the chickens' run area where they can scratch and all that for quite a little while. Well, I finally broke down and spent the money it takes to buy the T-post and the wire fasteners and all that. My daughter's gonna come over and help me a little bit because I've got to get it tight between each post. I did nail it to that wood corner post where I started. But that ain't no big deal. I can snip that and tighten it as I need to, but I've got a couple of T-posts left. I may have to put one in between these because it's such a long run, which is, T-post driver doesn't take much to put it in the ground. But that's what I'm thinking. Probably one here. I should be able to pull that once I snip it loose. It's just done so I can pull against it and get it nice and snug on that side. So a T-post probably to be added right here between these two, which is probably 20 feet or more. So anyway, probably add one right there in the middle about where I drove in that 2x over there. I could pull that one up and move it, doesn't matter. But I got to get the hard part done now. I got to get the hole diggers, which I took over there and cleaned up. And I'm going to put the gate up here just because this is so much easier for me. It's my normal walk from the house down to the chicken pen, right up past the corner of the old building here. So that way I won't have to change that. I'll fuss at myself for not putting it here, so I might as well. So I've got to dig 2 post holes here for the door or gate, whatever you want to call it, and then get the post put in the ground that I can attach to. The only problem is that ground, even though we've had a lot of rain, it's still pretty hard. And if I have to, I'll crank the backhoe and get it around here. I did crank and move it again today, but it's so low on hydraulic fluid it really doesn't like to do much, and I haven't bought any yet, so I got to do that. But then I went ahead and drove these 4 T-posts, these 3 across the side here, 1 more across the back to go to that corner. So it's going to about triple their run area, which is just going to have to do. They're not going to ever get any more room than that. Once I cull the flock down to where I want to keep it, it shouldn't be an issue. But I know I'm going to have 2 here for the gate, and that'll help me turn to come up this hill a little bit right here. It's hard to tell on camera, but from where the T-post driver is, this way it starts coming uphill, and it's about probably a 2-foot incline total. But we're going to go to that corner T-post, and then we're going to run around to that one. I've got to move that little telephone pole and run it right down the edge of those others to that corner. So online lied to me for the Lowe's website. They said they had the 2-inch square wire for like $78 or something like that. But and they said they had a bunch in stock, but all they had when I got there was a 150-foot roll of the 1-inch square, which is what I prefer, but it cost about close to $40 more. So it is what it is. It's 150 feet. So, and I ended up needing, when I measured it out, about 96 feet. So I don't know what it'll actually be once I've, got all the posts in and the fence ran. Might be 90 feet or it might be 110. I don't know. But I'll get all that done. Thought about setting up time-lapse, setting the camera up and letting you guys watch me do this. But honestly, it would be a whole lot of editing for just a little bit of work when I can come out here and make a little piece of video here to show you the progress. So it's already, all these T-posts are already driven into the ground. I've only let the first pin out over here, which is the blue Orpingtons and roosters and hens, and then that teenage rooster and the hens that I hatched when I hatched him. So anyway, most of those, not most of the hens, but the roosters and stuff will get cold when it's time to process. So got a little ways to go, but anyway, I'm already at the 5-minute mark, so I'm gonna shut up and get back to work. I appreciate y'all watching. All right, guys, so yesterday my daughter did come help for a couple hours. We got from this corner to that T-post and to the old post on that back corner. You know, all I did was move this side piece to that corner. Luckily, it just did fit. So we got that done, and I got the gate moved. I dug those holes deep, much deeper than the old ones, and almost, I think it was 22 inches when I measured them. It's almost 2 feet. So we've got the gate here, and I've switched the hinge to the other side, and then I've got these 3 T-posts and cornered over to the old corner post there. So we got all this fence hung yesterday, best we could do, and attached, and then we got that back piece there. So what I've been working on today is, you see the roll here at the gate running up this front piece and down this side, and I've got that attached to the corner, and I've got it stretched to this post. So now I've got to stretch from here to the corner and get it attached, and then across the front down to this T-post and then the gate. So I've only got, I think I finished, yeah, I finished attaching to here. So I've got to attach at the corner, pull it tight and attach the fence, pull it tight and attach it here, and then pull it down to the wood post and nail it in there. Cut off the extra of the roll, because I only ended up using about probably 80 feet instead of this 100 foot that I was expecting, and I bought a 150 foot roll because that's what they had. I've already taken down all these posts that were here, so hopefully in the next day or two. I didn't get home till about 20 minutes later than normal today, but I did manage to get a little bit done and rolled it out to here. So tomorrow I can start working at that corner, pulling it tight and then getting it attached, and hopefully finish the fence so I can close the gate and they will be completely fenced in again. Their run area is about 3 times what it was, and I don't remember if I told y'all this on a video, but let me get the camera where you can see. The chickens that I actually hatched, the red ones, red and white ones and stuff, are in this pen with all the blue Orpingtons, hens and roosters. So there's 4 or 5 roosters in there, and I think 4 roosters and 8 hens, I think. And then the older chickens are still in the middle. And then in the last pen, that one that raised all these blue Orpingtons and Wyandottes is in this last pen with the 7 hens, Wyandotte hens, because I don't have a rooster, and one I call Sue, because, you know, he mothered all the hens and then he grew up to be a rooster. So he truly was a boy named Sue. So I've got these 8 in this pen. The only negative is there's 14 in this first pen, and they go through that feeder in 2 days, where the others go through the feeder in 3.5 days. So I have to fill this feeder every other day, and I might as well top them all off when I'm doing it, which is what I've been doing. So most of y'all know I got pretty upset with YouTube deleting my most watched video that I had on my channel. Had around 14,000 views on it, and they said that I was selling, is what they said, selling restricted items such as firearms or firearm related products, which I did no such thing. It was a range out there shooting the cowboy single action pistols. I wasn't attempting or trying to sell anything, but we all know YouTube is not gun friendly. So apparently it got on the wrong side of somebody's butt crack, and they decided they would give me a warning saying that if it happened again, they'd give me a strike. Well, and that they stopped the video from being seen by anybody but me. So I appealed the decision and said I was not selling anything, nor did I mention selling anything. And, you know, I would like someone to reconsider. And they immediately responded. I mean, like 2 to 3 minutes after I sent the email, they responded with another email saying that the first email said suspected that I violated the rules. The response after I appealed it was, you broke the rules. It's a 17-minute video. They couldn't even go through and watch the video in 2 or 3 minutes. So it is what it is. They deleted it at that point, and I still had it in my computer, so I uploaded it to Rumble. And I'm going to continue working on Rumble, which is another video platform similar to YouTube. And there are a lot more user-friendly, constitutional-wise. You've got some of left, right, center, everything on there, but they do not do a lot of what YouTube does to us conservatives. So, I said I was going to stop posting to YouTube, but both my daughters don't agree with that because I've got 1.5 years in content and building this channel up and reaching out to get you guys to subscribe, and I'd be throwing all that away starting from zero, and I wasn't really happy about it, but I was ticked at the time. So I'm going to reverse my decision, unlike YouTube, and say I'm going to continue uploading to YouTube, but I'm also going to upload every video that I do on Rumble. That way, if YouTube does it to me again, gives me a strike where I can't upload or comment or anything, then at least I've got Rumble to fall back on. So those of you that don't have a Rumble account, please, rumble.com, you'll find the app. Download the app on your phone, your computer. Actually, the app's a lot better on the computer than it is the phone. But either way, it is an alternative to YouTube, and I'm hoping they continue making improvements, making it a better platform, but it's a good platform, and you will get better content. Every video that goes to YouTube will go to Rumble. Some videos I make will only go to Rumble just because YouTube won't allow it. So, I appreciate y'all. If you can, go follow me on Rumble, and you will find me at capital M, capital E, capital W, ATERS, the numbers 35. It's Me Waters 35, MEW, capitalized with ATERS, numbers 35. You'll find me on Rumble that way. Please subscribe to the Homestead Prepping and Survival channel there, and I do appreciate y'all once again. So, I thank y'all for putting up with me. I thank y'all for watching my videos and helping me grow this channel and sharing knowledge from y'all to me and from me to everybody else. So, I love y'all. Remember what I always tell you. Jesus Christ loves you. Be safe. Be prepared. Guys, so you can see in this corner is where I took the fence from this side and wrapped around and tied it back to itself. Then I took the new fence and ran around and tied it to the old fence. So now it's pulling against the old fence and turning the corner. Problem is this ground isn't level at all. So when you go up, you get a little loose up top, or you go down, you get a little loose, you know, on the bottom. And I've used all 8 of the T-posts that I bought, which hindsight, I'd have probably bought Landscape Timbers. It would have been cheaper. a little more labor intense as far as digging the holes, but with all the rain we've had in the last month and a half, it's not hard to dig the holes. I mean, I dug the gate post holes 22 inches plus deep in 10 minutes with post hole diggers. So it would not have been bad to dig these 8 and probably 10 holes with landscape timbers, and then I'd have had a full 8-foot. Well, these were 6-foot T-posts, so, but I still would have ended up with another 2 feet of post up, so I could add the fence taller, and I may have to come back and do that. But I knocked off about an hour early today because yesterday I stayed a little bit late, and I want to try to get this fence done today so I can turn the chickens out if I get done before dark, and I'm hoping I make it. They're forecasting rain, so if it starts raining and all that, I may not. That cloud up there is starting to look a little darker behind the trees coming this way. So either way, I drove what's left of a 2x4 in the ground over here just to give me something to attach to, because it starts going uphill right here, and that's giving me a lot of waves in the fence, and I'm pulling tight at each solid strand that runs through the fence, bottom, here, 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 and there. So I can't get all the wave out of it because I'm actually changing the angle of the fence. So I drove one in the ground and nailed it with fence nails there, and I want a little extra on the ground so there's no gap for them to run toward. And all I do is take my foot and kind of bend the fence that way and stretch it a little bit down, but it's rubbing the ground pretty much all the way down. There's a slight little bit, no big deal for chickens. And I've got it wire tied to the corner post here. So my next thing is it runs, and if you can see from here, it doesn't show up well on camera, but it runs downhill to where the fence gate is, about a foot to 2 feet. So that's going to leave me a lot of wave in the fence too. But like I say, it's a chicken run. Typically they don't try to get out unless they're fighting or getting their butt whooped or whatever. But the rest of it looks really good. It's all done except for this T-post, and then pulling it tight against the landscape timber post there the gate is on, and nailing it there. So that'll be the easy part. This tying it to the T-post is a pain in the butt. And you'll notice that post looks like it's leaning. It's because I'm pulling on it this way. And, you know, the fence is pulling back against it. So hopefully it'll straighten a little bit. This one, I couldn't get it to drive in straight. But either way, I'm going to attach to this T-post, and then hopefully I'll get finished in the next 30 minutes or so, to where I can get the leftover material out, my grandkids' little outdoor toy and the lumber, get it out of here and turn these chickens loose, or at least some of them, into their new improved. I'm gonna back up to the very corner. You can see what used to be the run very easily here. So now we are at least, if not 4, at least 3 times bigger run area for the chickens than we've had in the past. So I've been working on this. This is the 3rd day. My daughter helped me the first night for a couple of hours, and we've got this. I did the post before she got here, but she helped me stretch that fence. And then we removed the post that was here at the corner and took that fence and came back and ran down to this corner. So luckily I didn't measure for that to happen, but it worked out perfect. There was only an inch left after I wrapped the T-post in the corner. So we've got all that done. Yesterday evening when I got home, I got from this corner done, which was, you know, starting point and all that, to this T-post. So today, since I've been home, I've gotten from that T-post to the corner. Now I got to go to that T-post so I can finish up. And I will come back and show y'all what it looks like, hopefully with some chickens on the yard in just a little bit. Well, I know it's hard to tell on camera. Trying to get where you That's a very on the edge of pouring rain right there. Just don't show up well on camera, but made the cat run. It's raining hard, so I'm halfway done tying that last T-post right there. I've got the top 2 runs done and stretched to the wood post over here and nailed. So went ahead and cut. I've got to finish tying the last 2 or 3 pieces, you know, on this T-post, which, let me look at the camera instead of my out the door. Got to finish tying those last few there. Stretch it is the thing, because remember, it goes downhill. It's causing me to have some waves into the fence, which not a big deal. It ain't going anywhere. And then I got to nail the last 3 spots on the end after I pull it tight. So if I had a helper, I could pull it while they attached it and then nailed it, and it'd be a lot tighter. But it's hard to do that with 2 hands and hold the wire and hold the nail and hold the hammer and all that good stuff. But either way, it's raining pretty good, guys, so doesn't look like I'm gonna get to finish it today. But I got twice as much done as I did. Well, not really. I drove that stake in and I got the corner done and half of that last T-post done. So, open the door. That doesn't make a bit of difference on y'all being able to see the rain. But either way, not going to finish, so the chickens will have to wait till tomorrow to run in their new run. And that is if I get off in time to give them a little bit of time to run. But I'll be back. I'm going to finish the video whenever I finish this fence. Alright guys, the rain stopped. Only had about 30 minutes of it, and I got about 15 or 20 minutes before dark. You see it's got some wave to it, but I can't help it with it being uneven and having to stretch and tie myself, you know, without help. But I do have it nailed to the post. I got it as close to the ground as I could get it, so I don't have to worry about the adults trying to get out. I may come back and drive a stake in or something and like stake the fence down between the post all the way around. I just might have to go buy some tent stakes and do that just as a precaution, but it's standing up. If you look down the fence, the top strand is tight, and it's that way all the way around. Each strand in the wire here, hard to see on camera, here, and then bottom. So there's 5 solid strands that run through with the webbing in between. Those strands are pulled as tight as I can get them. And if I pull some of these, like this has got a little wave to it, if I pull it any tighter, it just puts a bigger diagonal wave in there because of the way it's running downhill. So I'm happy with it. I'm the chickens, you see, they're out here doing their thing. But I let them out about 5 minutes ago while I was finishing nailing the bottom rung, the bottom strand of the wire. So I think it looks pretty good, and they have got a lot bigger area to run and scratch. So I'm not letting the adults out, the oldest ones, because they'll chase Mr. Teenage Rooster over there. But I'm fixing to let out the one I call a boy named Sue and the Wyandottes, because I've got all these together, the ones I hatched and the Teenage Rooster and all the Blue Orpingtons together in the first pen. They've been in there for almost a week, and if they don't go back into the nest they've been in, I can grab them after dark tonight. Let me open it up. I put the latch on the inside because, well, helps keep grandkids from playing with it. So, anywho, same latch, same gate. I just put the hinges on the other side and put the latch on the inside. But it's a lot more sturdy than it was before because I went that almost 2 feet in the ground. So, as you can see, I'm standing here at the edge of the fence. I've got about, I'd say 7 or 8 feet between my old building and the fence. I haven't actually measured it. I probably will one day. But there's plenty of room for me to ride the lawnmower through there. I'm not sure the backhoe will fit because of the stabilizer arms on the back. They don't fold straight up, they just get close. Other than that, I know it would drive through here, and my old tractor will fit through here. So I can't drive a vehicle through here, something like a Ford Ranger or so, but there's no need. I can just drive around the building once I get the other stuff cleaned up and done. So I hadn't covered up the tractor yet, so it just got rained on, which is fine. It's been at my brother's house for almost 2 years, getting rained on 98% of that time. So I don't know if I want to, I don't think so. I'm changing my mind. I don't think I want to let those Wyandottes and that one boy rooster out. Sue, I don't think it's been quite long enough. They're not going to want to go back to the roost that I want them to be in. So I think I'll leave them in. I'll probably let them out tomorrow when I get home, if weather permits. It's supposed to rain today, be decent tomorrow with, you know, kind of muggy. I'm not muggy, but a dreary day where it's a little drizzly every now and then. Not really a big amount of rain. Then the rain's supposed to come back Thursday, which is when this video will come live. So guys, I'm going to take another quick minute and talk about me being upset with YouTube. I think YouTube is wrong. They accused me of doing something that I'm not guilty of. If I was guilty, I would have apologized and taken the video down myself. That's who I am. But they accused me of something that I did not do. If they'd have come out with another rule and said, hey, you violated this rule, then I'd have said, okay, I'll fix it, you know. Or if they said, we just don't like your gun video, all right, I'll take it down, although I hate it because I got so many so many views on it, but I'll take it down. But they didn't do that. They just flat out lied and accused me of doing something I didn't do, which was trying to sell restricted products, firearms or firearm accessories. I don't think any of y'all ever heard me try to sell anything. Well, I know you haven't because I haven't done it. But anyway, the chickens are enjoying this much bigger area. I think maybe now once the grass comes back come spring, especially over here where I had scraped it, you know, I had the telephone poles there at one time, and then they have decimated this grass. So once summer gets here, like last summer, I had to get in there with the manual push mower and cut the grass every now and then. I'm sure I will have to do that inside here, but it's not the summer that I'm worried about. It's the spring and fall. They're eating up that little bit of grass that's there. So I really like this. I am standing in the front right corner if you were outside the pen looking at it, and it's aimed straight at the other corner. So I took pretty long strides for me, which is about 3 feet, and there's 25 yards from here to the other post in the front corner. So to me, as a small flock, you know, less than 50 birds, this ought to be plenty of scratch and run area, and this is what they're gonna get. It's possible I could go toward the fruit orchard when the fruit trees are bigger and I don't have to worry about them in the blueberry bushes and all that, you know. I don't have to worry about the chickens killing the plants. Then it's very possible that I could, you know, enlarge the area that direction, but I don't see a need for it. I've got wire left over. I'm probably going to let my daughter have when they get finished moving to the new farm, and help them get their chicken pen done in some run area or whatever. But I'm gonna get off here, guys, with the 4 or 5 parts of the video that I've got done on this, adding on to the chicken run. Somebody stopped in the road up there. Whoever it is ain't got no business there. And let's see, let's zoom in. Whoop, yeah, they're stopped. It might be my sister coming home, but normally I see her when she drives by, and that looks like it's facing this direction, which is the opposite direction. Her driveway's right on the other side of that car. So anywho, I'm gonna get off here. I gotta fill all 3 of the chicken feeders. Like I say, with 14 being in his first pen, they go through that 10-pound feeder every 2 days. So I get 2.5, but they would be out. So every 2 days I have to fill their feeder, so I might as well fill up the other 2 as well. And I'm gonna call it a night, because it's gonna be dark in another 15-20 minutes roughly, and hopefully most of the rain we get will come tonight. I don't mind it raining at night at all, because I can't get out here and do nothing anyway. But guys, thank y'all so very much for supporting me and watching the videos. And those of you that have already done it, that went over and joined Rumble, or started, you know, already had Rumble and followed my channel there, it is the same name as here, Homestead Prepping and Survival. You can find me with the first 3 letters are capitalized, MEWATERS, the number's 35. So MEWATERS 35. So that's my initials and last name, so y'all can find me on there. Everyone that's told me that they found me, that's how they found me. I don't know whether typing in Homestead Prepping and Survival will just show up. I hope it would. I was inside while it was raining on the laptop trying to learn a little more about Rumble and see what all I can do and can't do there. But it really means a lot. That channel is literally less than a week old, and it's got 8 followers already. As far as the Homestead Prepping and Survival channel, me personally, I think I've got 3. So I do appreciate that, guys. But please make sure you follow the Homestead Prepping and Survival page, and I would appreciate it. Rumble is a much more conservative, down the middle, not right leaning or left leaning, but down the middle of the road political wise, and they just don't give you the hassle that YouTube does if you're a conservative, center or right leaning. So I thank y'all very much. Rumble is just another video platform, and they are constantly making improvements and updates to that software. It's much better on a computer than it is on a phone, but it's still a very good platform. So I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna open up this door. Look, it actually opens a little for me. But it closes nicely. Hardly any gap at the bottom, which is the way I prefer it. The fence looks good. So we're gonna call it done, guys. It's a win for me when I make things better for my animals, and this is a big improvement for the chickens. So thank y'all so very much. Y'all remember the 2 things I always tell you that's more important than anything. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe and be prepared. Don't forget, if you don't have Rumble, get Rumble. RUMBLE.com. You can download the app to your computer, to your smartphone, and follow Homestead Prepping and Survival there. I'm going to continue uploading on YouTube, but I've got Rumble set up to where it will take the videos from YouTube and post them automatically to Rumble. It may take weeks for it to move my 200 plus videos, but I'm a little over halfway. 126 I think's already been moved. So it may take a while for all the videos to be there, and until they're all moved, I'm going to continue uploading to there and uploading to YouTube separately, just so y'all get the newest video the fastest. But Rumble's where it's at, guys. I love y'all. Be good.